What's up, everybody? This is Jay Floyd, aka Big Bro. Thanks again for hopping on to another episode of this podcast, man. The Big Bro Show. I love y'all, man. I love all the feedback I've been getting, man. Like I said, I really wanted to change the narrative, man, and really just be, I'm a firm believer in we are who we're waiting for. So in this society, in this time, man, nobody has all the answers. But, there's far too many people, in my opinion, that's out looking for a leader. They want somebody to follow, right? But in my opinion, a real leader is not just somebody you follow. It's somebody you relate to, man. Somebody you can be in a relationship with, right? So what to me, following is overrated. Being in a relationship is underrated, man. Let's do more of that. So my voice out here is to be in relationship with y'all, man. I'm not out here to say I got all the answers. I'm out here to say, look at me, I'm growing, I'm rocking, and I'm trying to be as positive and as I can, man. And I love y'all, and I want to show love to y'all and show you what I've learned, show you what I'm working on, and y'all can feed back into me that way. Let's have a relationship, So with that said, man, today I was really thinking about this concept, man, and it came up in the sense of a lot of people talking about Kanye West, but it's really in a greater sense, man, in a greater sense of everybody, of all of us. I really wanted to talk about another segment of how do we show love to each other? How do we do that? One of the things, my man LS Royal posted something on Facebook the other day, And, to me, the answer or the response to it, the best response I had was to post a link to one of these episodes, because it's just about us learning how to love each other, man. We all learning. We all trying to learn and evolve into what's next, right? The past is what the past is, and we all trying to evolve into what's next. So with that said, man, the thing I was thinking about, last time I talked about affirming people and holding people accountable, two sides of a coin of love. If y'all hear noises in the background, that's my kids, man. They, I love them. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I record this for my family room. So last time I talked about affirmation and holding people accountable, but this time I want to talk about another two sides of a coin, right? I want to talk about protection and challenge. Right? Because to me, this is also two of the most vital pieces of love, man. Two of the most vital. And there's 2 points where, from what I can tell from the people I know, the experiences I've had, the clients that I've life coached, the people that mentor me, the people I mentor, I think everybody is starting to see a lot of the same things, man. There's some things that we didn't like in the past, and we trying to grow out of it, man. We trying real hard, man. People are trying to change and grow and evolve. So let's talk about what that means. Protection. What does it mean to protect, man? For parents, when they raising kids, man, one of the things that you need to do is show a child that they are protected, right? A child needs to feel like they have an advocate. That's part of our job, especially when the child is really young. That's part of it. That's what it is, right? I always think about my mom. I grew up in my household, my parents were divorced. My mom was raising me and my older brother. And, one of the things that she always instilled in me, my mom was a big fighter. She would be like, it's us against the world, man. It's a cold world out here. People are harsh. People are cold. People are unforgiving. So you gotta put your armor on, man. You got to go fight, man. You got to be in battle. Right. And so the way that she exemplified that was by being a soldier for us. She was very, very protective of us, and she would teach me to stand up for myself. The number one thing she ever taught me was never let somebody make an example out of you. Never, right? Always stand up for yourself. And so she extended that to where it was in my entire childhood, every day that I walked out of the house, every day, whether it was in wherever we were or in school or whatever, every day I knew I had a sense of protection. I had a sense that there was somebody with power in the world and ability who had all the intention in the world of doing whatever she could to protect me. I felt safe. Even in a dangerous world, I felt like regardless of anything, my mom would go out first before anything happened to me. My mom would put it all on the line before she let any harm come to me, right? So this played out, as we were growing up, in my younger days, we were around my family, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, grandma, great aunts, come from a Southern family, man, right? So corporal punishment was big. It was all up in there, right? My mom was not big into that. She ain't believed that was really the way to go if you could help it, right? So obviously that came into conflict when you got a little bit of the remnants of the village mentality in our family, right? So cousins, cramped all in the same family, aunts and uncles in the same house on a lot of events, a lot of days, a lot of nights, and there's time to discipline the kids. When it's time to discipline the kids, usually that came in for all of us, right? My mom was really always staunch, like, yo, draw the line before you come to my kid, right? Let me handle that. If there's a problem, come tell me and I will handle it, right? She did not trust that each person had the healthiest way of disciplining us, right? Because a lot of that discipline is going to come out in a harsh way. A lot of that discipline may be uneducated. A lot of that discipline may be, let me just take out some of the pain that I hold in within me on you. And my mom just did not want that. Her feeling was, I don't know what your day has been like. I don't know how you might lash out, so I don't trust it. So just come get me and explain it to me and I will handle it. Right. And she always was like that. And it worked. She protected us from, and we saw firsthand some abusive situations and we were exempt from it because, verbally and physically abusive, and a lot of families deal with that, but we were exempt from it because my mom had drew that line for us. So I knew I was protected. Right. You take that to another level. I started elementary school back in the 80s in Cleveland public schools, right? And back then there was still this myth, not really a myth, it was existing. They really still had corporal punishment in the schools. But what it caused was these myths and this ethos of, well, this teacher has the giant metal paddle and Mr. So-and-so got the big electric paddle, man, and the kids were like, we make up these stories, these urban legends about these ridiculous torture devices that the teachers had because we knew they were allowed to spank us or paddle us if they saw fit. And what my mom did was, knowing that was the case, she would always start every school year by writing a letter to the teachers and the administration and say, hey, the corporal punishment ends with my kid. Don't do that. Call me and I'll handle it, right? Because she didn't trust this public school system to physically discipline their kid, right? So here, and as we go on now, we see that kind of stuff's not allowed in the schools. You see stories about the abuse. You see stories about things that may have damaged kids long term. So I truly appreciate her in every moment. I didn't take it for granted. I didn't start wilding out and doing whatever I want, knowing that I didn't have any punishment coming. No, that's not the way it went, but I did walk around feeling like, man, my mom loves me so much. She will keep me from this, something that's scary. People were making up stories about it and crazy urban legends, but my mom is going to protect me from that. So right, wrong, or indifferent, my mom showed her love out of what she knew best. And because she felt this was a harsh world that didn't always know its boundaries and wasn't healthy enough to dole out discipline on us, she didn't trust it, right? So she exemplified that she was going to protect us at all costs, right? So I think that's something that needs to be said because there is a lot of versions of parenting, specifically in a lot of communities where there's a lot of pain and hurt. Hurt people, man. And, I've witnessed firsthand. I know a lot of everybody listening, y'all probably witnessed firsthand too, parents and aunts and uncles that get real abusive with the discipline, right? We've all witnessed a little bit of that. So you can see where she was coming from. And I think there is a sense of protection that all of our kids need, right? For us to properly show them love, we got to show that we are a hedge of protection for them. When they're really small, at a certain age, they see us as their God, So for us to protect them from these worldly ills, one of the biggest things that goes on in today's society that's being exposed, that has gone on so long, is sexual abuse. And my mom was also very aware of that. And she was acutely aware, right? And she would warn me and my brother and teach us how to navigate certain situations and how to get her attention on them. What's up? It's your big bro, Jay Floyd, man. Y'all wanted to come on here and tell y'all about Greenwood Dist. Man, Greenwood Dist is a dope Black-owned apparel company, man. They specialize in dope graphic tees that are all about Black excellence, Black encouragement, and Black empowerment, man. Listen, I always wanted to have a relationship with a company or a product that really matched me and what I believe in and what I stand for. And man, I couldn't be a better marriage than me linking up with Greenwood Dist. Greenwood Dist, man, they actually named, if you go look it up, man, I'm all about your research. If you look it up, they are named after the town in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Black Wall Street once stood before it was torn down in the Tulsa uprising, man. So go out and check out greenwooddist.com. And also, man, if you put in the promo code JFloyd, JAYFLOYD, tell them your big bro sent you, they'll knock 10% off for you, man, for a lifetime, man. Keep using that. All right, y'all, one. Right? She would teach us those things, and she was always talking about it because she knew, and she said, Jay, this is a cold world. This is a cold world, and you're going to see when you get older. There's a lot of sin in this world. There's a lot of harshness in this world, and there's really some evil that is going on in this world, unchecked. So this sense that there's a need for protection is true. It's true. We need to protect each other. We need to protect ourselves. We need to reach out when we see each other in dangerous situations. We need to show our friends, the people we're in relationship with, which is our friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives, all of that. Those are all relationships. We need to show the people we're in relationship with that we will protect them because we love them. So if we see them in dangerous situations, we'll say something and do something, and we'll try to prevent that, right? So protection is key. Somebody starts saying something, we will step in and wear that armor for them. We will. But just like affirmation and accountability, there's two sides to the coin, right? Love does not only come in the form of protection. I could take it back to, again, my own life. If you continue the story, to my mom, when I was a little older, one of the things that happened in our life because of the tumultuous situation after my brother was murdered, and we hit extreme financial hardship, I was sent to live with my father. And after a few years of living with my father was a very patient man, a very patient soul. He was a Southern man raised on a farm in Alabama, military man, very soft-spoken. I've never seen him get angry and yell. I never saw him yell in life, right? He was very, very soft-spoken but powerful when he would speak, right? And so I started learning things from him as time went on. And when I got to be about 19, 20, I was in college kind of halfway, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, dropping out every now and again, switching schools, switching majors, checking in, checking out, but I didn't get into any trouble, So for me, the thing that resonated in my head was, I'm not getting in any trouble, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm all right, Finally, one day I came home and my father had kicked me out of the house. He packed my bag and sat it on my bed, and he's like, it's time to go. And I was crushed because I'm like, how can this possibly be? Like, I don't get into any trouble. Like, why would you, and he said, you're not living up to your potential. And I remember I was crying and I was devastated, man. I'm like, real baby tears, man. Like infant, toddler tears. Like, I'm just crushed. And I remember looking at him and I said, man, Mom would never do this. And I remember he looked back at me and he said, you're absolutely right. And I'm not your mother, I'm your father. And in that moment, I didn't really understand what that means. Today, as a father of 3 children, I understand exactly what that means. And I understand how difficult it was for him to say that to me, and I admire that and I take my hat off to him. And, but the key of what he was showing me, just like my mom had exemplified that I will protect you over everything. What my father exemplified was I will dig deep in my soul and I will challenge you so that you can be the best you can be, right? So that you can be the best. My mom said, I will lay my life on the line to protect you so that you can make it in this world. My father said, I will dig deep and shred everything inside of me in order to challenge you to be the best you can be. And I think we need both of those. In life, we need these challenges. We can't go far without being challenged. We need muscle. When a baby is born, man, they go through labor, man. They struggle out. They scream. They develop their lungs by screaming. We gotta work. We had to struggle, man. We must struggle. We must be challenged. So many of the things in front of us, a lot of times people will say, man, that's the devil. That's the enemy. Or somebody will say that somebody is hating on me. They haters, But I'll present that a lot of times, man, even in those instances, a lot of times this is adversity. So those are adversaries. And an adversary, that could be the best thing that ever happened to you. I look back at the day my dad kicked me out, and that's the greatest day of my life. Everything that I have started from that day. I wouldn't have achieved much of anything because although I was protected, I was loved, I didn't have the muscle. Spiritually, emotionally, I didn't have any muscle. I hadn't been challenged and made it through. And so to be challenged in a healthy way, this is the key, right? And this is why I think our coin doesn't get flipped. We end up with only one side of it because we struggle so much with how to do either one healthily, right? How do we protect somebody healthily? How do I do it the right way? Can't protect them from everything. I can't put them in a bubble so that I basically strangle them. I cut off their umbilical cord and they don't get any strength. They don't get any muscle development. I can't just always give them love. Give them love in that protection way, in a bubble. And I also just can't always just challenge. I can't just be an impediment. I can't just be a wall in front of them. You have to be that wall with the rope on it, like at the gym class. You know what I mean? Remember that wall with the rope, like they show you in the military commercials? Yeah, it's a wall, but there's also a rope right there and an instructor next to you motivating you to get over, right? So you be that. You don't just be a brick wall standing in front of them, cutting them off. Like imagine that at the end of an alley and there's a brick wall, pow, they can't go any further. Don't be that, but you can be that gym class brick wall where they got a rope right there and get over it, So, I think one of the keys to love is the coin of protection and challenge. We try to master that. As a parent, I try my best to master that. And in doing that, in order to try my best, that means I got to dig back into my parents and how I was raised. The great things they did, the mistakes they made. How can I take all of that, learn from it, try to live up to it, and love my kids, my wife, everybody I'm in relationship with, my friends, mentors, mentees. How do I love that way? How do I show them protection, stand up for them when they need it, but challenge them when they need it, right? challenge them when they need it. This is very important, right? I think so much you'll see if you go on social media right now, you'll see a lot of people, there'll be like this celebrity who gets, who pours so much into fame and things that are maybe against their own interests, fame, money, prosperity. And then they hit this wall where their image, this name that they've built, is getting ripped apart. God is just tearing it apart. God is saying, I'm not in that. I'm tearing it apart, but I will leave you and use you. And what happens is the millions of people that believe in this image that they built, this gold idol that they built, will jump in and say, no, don't tear up that image. Don't tear them down. No, you're keeping them from the correct challenge that they may need. That's a challenge. If I build the brand J. Floyd into a gold idol that I worship or I expect you to worship, and God decides to tear it apart, let him tear it apart, y'all. It's for my own good. It's for my own good. Yeah. But now if somebody comes for me in a harsh way, telling me to go get a switch for something I don't deserve, to be abusive to me, if somebody comes at me in a way that's abusive and unhealthy, yeah, come with me, y'all. Stand up for me. Protection. Challenge. That's love. So, man, thanks again for joining me, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. I love these talks. Like I said, this show is not meant for anybody to hop on board and become a follower of me. This show is meant for y'all to be in relationship with me, man. We can all be in relationship with each other, learn from each other, understand each other, talk about our mistakes, our falls, our struggles. What did we do to get back up? You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time when I became a parent acting out only my mother's version of love, right? Only the protection part. I struggled with the challenge part. I didn't really know how to do that because in my life, what I had experienced most 16, 17 years was my mother's version only. Didn't grow up around my dad. So it didn't naturally come out of me. It was something I had to really go to God and work on and ask for his help and his encouragement, his enlightenment, ask for him to send me some mentors who could help me learn. And he did. He sent me some mentors, man, and they taught me. They showed me, hey, here's what you can try. Here's what you can do. Here's what I still struggle with, So yeah, that's a struggle for me. And it's still something that's a natural struggle. It's not something that I don't overcome, but it is a natural struggle in my heart when I wake up every day. It's something that I have to, supercharge myself over. And God helps me do that, man. And I appreciate him for it. So again, man, let's just keep growing, man. Like I said, I'm not here to say I got all the answers, but I am here to say I love y'all. And let's keep rocking, man. Thanks for joining me. Hop on, yo, and if you listen to this on YouTube, man, make sure you like and subscribe, man. I'm trying to get to as the number of followers and likers and subscribers that I need is the number that God wants me to have. So if it's in your heart to like and subscribe, man, go and do that, man. Because I know if God want me to have 1,000, I'm gonna have 1,000. If he want me to have 5 million real quick, he gonna make me have 5 million, man. He gonna let that happen, Now it's up to me to be responsible with what I do with that platform, right? All right, so thank y'all, man. I love y'all. Keep rocking with me. 1.